a very, very tight
Check,
German
check.
player. Obviously, he's got a few quid now, so it's...
8,000.
Ken Leonard betting the ace high, and Brolin's in a spot where a 5 or
Pass.
10 would make him a straight, but he is not
Pass.
competing. Too expensive?
no, I think he just didn't spot that he had a straight.
So Leonard with the raise and take it. He was the first casualty for the Swedish team in their first round match, and do you think he means to last a little longer?
Everybody liked it last a little bit longer, but I genuinely think that he didn't. He didn't see it as a straight.
I was thinking about
What
what
do you
to say,
think?
but you know, the Germans won't say anything whatever I say, so there's not much point in me talking.
Nobody could believe that Ken Leonard played a pot without saying anything.
Well, Ken Leonard probably talks as good a game as any man alive.
Pass.
His own game has gone off
Raise
quite
to
a bit
4,000
over the last year or two,
Fold.
but he can still
Pass.
talk as good a game as just about anybody.
The raise has
Pass.
come from Ken Leonard
Call.
again, and called in 2 spots by Uli Stein and Sagstrom. They both have the same hand part.
Check. Check. 7,000.
The amazing thing is that Ken Leonard managed to flop the best hand with this kind of matchup, but
Call.
that is exactly what he's done. And 7s and 6s are good. Stein will call, but not.
Well, the interesting thing is, has Ken been watching Stein play? Because last week he got involved big time with pretty jammy hands that most people wouldn't, certainly most professionals wouldn't get involved with.
Well, Ken Leonard certainly believed that Stein didn't have him beat. The 15,000 bet on the turn, not called, and the captain for Sweden is extending his chip lead.
Okay, 1,000 there.
There's only 2,000 in the pot right now. And Ken Leonard,
Pass.
looks like he's changed gears a little bit, Pard, tightened up the last couple hands. But
Raise to 4,000 total.
Uli Stein well equipped to raise, and look what he's run into.
Thomas Pullen. Now, if he was playing with his own money, he'd probably re-raise. It gets quite funny when you're playing on a
Re-raise.
team.
Re-raise.
Yeah, okay, well, he's...
To 10,000 total. Pass.
Well, the original raise was
Pass.
only to 4,000, so Brolin has stuck in 6 more. I mean, this pot not huge yet. It's and Varjavand, he's thinking about it with basically a hand that's drawing dead before the flop.
I think
Pass.
Udi's put in a
Call.
raise first.
Uli
Before the
Stein-
raise on the ace king. So.
The amazing thing, Park, is 2 9s have been passed here. So Uli Stein not in that great a shape, although he is now. There's no 9s left in the deck, although the 9s ahead here.
I think the way Udi's been playing...
4,000.
he's not going to back off this. We've seen him play no pair down to the river for small money.
Well, that was a big card for Thomas Brolin, who
10,000.
he just seems to have Uli Stein's number, Parg. This is the second time he's come from behind,
Raise 10 more, 20
and you got a
total.
feel for the German goalkeeper.
This is good news for the German goalkeeper. The fact that he's got raised here, he might be able to get the clue to throw the 2 9s away. If Thomas Brolin had just called him again with the ace king,
Pass.
yeah, but this is exactly what's happened.
But it's a lovely fold, Parg. I mean, it may seem automatic, but for Uli Stein, it was great.
Well, it wasn't an automatic fold. It was just the way the hand played itself out.
So the German goalkeeper gets drawn out on, but goes no further. And the midfielder, the attacker, Thomas Brolin for Sweden, is the new chip leader. Uli Stein, first to speak for 1,000.
Pass.
I guess that's why they call it the blues.
Pass.
And I guess that's why they call
Pass.
it
Pass.
the blues.
Fold it around. Blind and blind.
Check.
And
Raise. 3,000 more. Full total.
Right, you gotta like when everybody's got absolute garbage, you
Pass.
gotta like Ken Leonard's chances of winning. Like, I started playing with Ken Leonard in maybe 1996, 1997. I played a tournament in Paris with him, and I swear to God, I sat back and watched him at it for a long,
So,
long
Lothar,
time.
what do you think
He
about
was
German
brilliant.
chances
You know, he just
this
kept
year in the World
raising,
Cup?
raise.
After one
I'd never
four,
seen the guy
that's
before in my life,
I don't think
but I realised that like straight away this guy was a player.
well, he's
I
had
came over the top of him once or twice just for the crack.
I'm not expert about it.
Same chance as for.
But it was, you know, sometimes when you're playing
No
poker,
chance.
like just something just jumps off the page at
Why
you.
is that? No players?
Like,
or is it this one is
I
not
guarantee you, this
Yes,
guy
no,
can
no
play.
players.
Well, Leonard's
Okay.
had
But
results,
you'll
and
get
he's
this one, it's good.
even had results lately, winning about
But the great
200,000
problem is
in Las
the most
Vegas last
national
year.
players don't play.
Pass.
No,
in
that's nothing to the way he played. The way he played in France.
Raise
When he
to
played in France,
3,000
he
total.
dominated.
Club team. It's a big problem. We have too
Sagstrom
many
5
foreign
high,
players in
and
the
he has made it
German Bundesliga.
3,000.
Pass.
Quickly
Fold.
called by his compatriot, who has a much better hand. And Uli Stein, he's the
Pass.
short stack part,
Will
but
be
he's
very
done
easy to
nothing
make a joke
wrong,
there,
really.
When German goalkeepers normally don't.
Me and you, Eric.
Like
Well, Park, this is huge. How is this going to play out? It's a huge flop for both players. Ken Leonard has a straight flush draw, and
5,000.
Sagstrom has a pair and a straight draw.
And they're both very aggressive players. I think we'd find all the chips in the middle of this quite quickly.
Call.
Eric Sagstrom playing it cute. Leonard has about 100 cards to hit, and there's only 40 left in the deck. That was one of the cards that did not help Ken Leonard.
Interesting to see how Sangston plays this.
12,000.
Sangston may well raise here.
It's fantastic.
It's tremendous poker, but Sangston may well get the clues to raise here.
What is the best strategy team-wise? Does he want to gamble with Ken Leonard? They could get all the chips in the middle.
They could. Eric's having a really good think about this.
The bet is 12,000.
Call.
And Eric Sagstrom has called, you know, Parg, if it comes... Well,
But
there's
it depends on which end it is he hits.
That's true. That 4 changed nothing, and at this stage,
Check.
Leonard has
Check.
9 high. Sagstrom says, wow, that was a big draw, but 2-pair win. And Parg, that pot could have been a lot bigger.
Another bet.
another bet and you win.
Well,
I
I think if they were playing teams, Ken would have bet the river and won the pot.
Sagstrom says another bet and you would have won, I think. But as it was, Leonard stopped the bluff. Were you surprised by that?
To bet.
I was
It's pretty
absolutely
hard to
shocked
bet.
by it, to be quite honest with you.
You really have to look to yourself and say to yourself, do you really love playing poker? Because if you do, then my top tip doesn't have to do with strategy. It has to do that you really have to like the game. You really have to play hours and hours and hours and hours. It's just like any other sport, which many people doesn't believe, but it's just like any other sport. You really, really have to practice, and you really have to like what you're doing. That's the most important thing of all.
The blinds have gone up. They'll now be 2 and 2,000. And first